that good? You happy with that?
Yeah, I'm happy with that. And then so there's
point.
10 questions, and then I've got like a little edit that I made from the Steakbabes event.
God.
That's like 10 minutes long, so not all of that will be in there, but I'm just showing it to you. So if there's any parts that you want me to take out, I can before I put it anywhere.
Right.
But I'll show it the whole thing after this.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. 10 questions, and are we answering them together?
Yeah, I actually have no idea what the process is.
I've never done a double.
I don't know what we're getting asked. I don't know anything.
I've never done a double, so however you feel.
Okay. I feel like we're pretty good at that.
Yeah. I feel like it'll bounce pretty well between. Yeah. But it's like both the questions, it's not any like individual ones.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to open this before we start filming.
Alright, you ready?
Yeah.
G'day legends, welcome back to Mikey Talk. Today we have episode 13, which is another very special guest episode. Two of the hottest girls in Melbourne, up and coming superstars, and they know steak better than anyone else. So happy to introduce you to the Steakbabes, Heather-Rain and Maddi. And then sit down and like clap for yourself as you sit down.
Okay.
Yeah. Welcome ladies. Are you ready?
Thanks for having us.
Are you excited to be here?
Yes.
All right.
Not sure what to expect, Mikey.
I don't think anyone
Don't
is.
stitch us up, please.
All right, we'll kick it off.
Go.
So I'm going to go back to the corporate days when you're working 9-to-5 jobs, scheming about a way to get rich quick. So what was the exact moment you looked at each other and decided you were going to review steaks?
Well, this is where we agree to disagree.
Big time.
I think it was a lunch
It was definitely a lunch.
that we came up with the idea.
Yeah, we'd been out for lunch because we used to always go out for lunches when we worked together. And we'd been out for lunch, and I've got an idea of where it was. H has a different idea of where it was. So
I think it was a Japanese place.
I don't think it was, but
Where
that's
do you think it- where do you think it was?
I don't know
What
where
were
it
we
was.
eating?
But I remember the moment us talking as we were walking back up the stairs to go into the building, and that was when we were like, why don't we give it a go?
Yeah, and we
I
came
remember
up
that.
with the name on the way back as well.
We came up with the name. We were spitballing a few names. There was some rogue ones in there.
Yeah.
And then I think it was like 2 days later, we had a work lunch for someone's birthday, and we spoke to the team about it, and they loved it. And then that day, I think you registered the domain literally that night.
Yeah.
Can you remember any of the other names?
I can remember one.
Can you tell me one? I want to hear it.
I suggested as a joke, 2 girls, 1 steak.
Amazing.
That was never gonna happen.
Yeah.
Didn't make the final cut.
No.
I think H's face, like we were talking with, like she's like laughing at ideas, and then she's like, what?
No.
So that one got, axed pretty quick.
Steakbabes was the winner.
Yeah.
Which was nice. We came up with it straight away that day. It was like bang.
Yeah.
Which was good. So
Nice.
Here we are.
yeah.
All right, question 2. So I heard your first free meal ever was a garlic bread, unless I've got that wrong. Can you just take me back to that moment and how excited you were?
We were really excited. I was really excited. I think we were both really excited.
It was at Naughty Nancy's.
Yeah. Naughty Nancy's.
We went there
Steak
for their
night.
steak night, and I remember their wine being really, really good.
So good. Yeah.
And then we'd ordered, and I think we'd booked under Steakbabes,
yeah.
which that took us a while to start doing as well, because we were like, oh, no one knows who we are. We're going to walk in and they're going to be like, who do these chicks think they are?
Yeah.
And we did it that day, and then she brought out this garlic bread, and we were like, what? Free garlic bread?
Complimentary garlic bread.
I can't eat garlic bread, so I had to eat the whole thing.
It was really good.
Amazing.
God, I love garlic bread.
Yeah.
Standard.
It was a really good night.
That was really good.
Despite everything with like the steak, the wine, and then the free garlic bread.
Free
We
meal.
were peaking. That was it.
I think we
That was
wrote
the
in
start.
our shared notes that day.
We
Like,
did.
free thing so far, garlic bread, and that was all that was on the list.
Is that
It's
still
just-
growing, that list?
Oh, it's
No.
there. But we've given up on that.
All right. You call yourself the Scorpio sisters. What does that mean to you?
Actually, can-
We were both Scorpios. So we're both Scorpios.
Yeah.
So a couple of days apart. And
1
then-
year and a couple of days.
1 year and a couple of days apart. And I think it was a good ring between like Steakbabes and the Scorpio sisters steak seeking. So just trying to come up with something
Like the alliteration.
And also what makes us like a pair and a duo being like, Steak Scorpio sisters. So it it was a good good pairing. And I feel like we have like Scorpios for us, like they're a different kind of people. They're a different kind of woman. Like like the Scorpio girlies know.
They know.
And I think that's where we have like a lot of things in common in the way we like operate.
A bit spicy.
Be a little bit spicy.
For sure. And I also think as like there's definitely similarities, but we've also got different elements of that sort of Scorpio side that work well together, even though they are a bit different.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Cool.
I think we've got a good balance.
We do.
Yeah.
Nice.
Scorpio sisters.
And we've met so many other Scorpio women, and we just gel with them straight away.
Love them.
You seem to click instantly. I've seen Heather meet a few, and as soon as you find out it's Scorpio, it's like, oh, we're best friends.
It's literally just like, it's like an unspoken thing. Like, it's like you're in a room and you're like, I know that I'm going to get along with you.
You just understand them.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Yeah.
It's this shared understanding
exactly
between Scorpio women.
Nice.
That's what we have.
Yeah.
All right. I want to know about your like working dynamic as a duo, like how you handle decisions or disagreements.
Wow.
That's a big question.
It's a big question.
Well, we've been doing it. We've been doing Steakbabes for 2 years.
Yeah.
But then our friendship has probably been at least 3 years. So I think we built up like an understanding and respect for one another when we're actually working in corporate life and how to complement each other in our different roles. We're both looking, managing different departments. So I think that gave us a lot of foundation for us to have good communication with Steakbabes.
For sure.
And then now, one of the business, the way we do operate, how we make decisions, but we do split our communications up, like being best friends kind of thing. Like our texts are for personal, and we use WhatsApp for business. So then it's like you can have sort of two conversations at the same time and not necessarily have pressure to respond to the business conversation.
Yeah, I agree. And I think we've probably grown a lot when it comes to if there's things that either of us don't agree on either. I think like H is the creative genius, that's for sure. I've had some pretty wild ideas that don't make much sense, so I'll leave the creative stuff to H. I think we both sort of have a good understanding of what our strengths are and what we can both bring to the table, because there's things that we both are really good at, there's things that H is really good at, there's things that I'm good at. So I think that we've just found that sort of blend of both and work towards each other's strengths, rather than H being like, okay, can you do this on our website? And I'm like, oh, we'd be hacked in, we would be hacked in 3 minutes, I'm sure. So I think we've just sort of also figured out, we understand what each other's strengths are, and we sort of work towards that and focus on that as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's just a really good balance.
Yeah.
It's nice. I think, And we're very open-minded and understanding of one another as well. We're also opportunities to learn, like naturally me being like, I've come from a creative, like professional background, but that hasn't stopped like Mad's having her little domain where she can experiment and be creative. So also like learning off one another. Yeah. Mad's a super, confident being like the people person and like sort of handling those sort of things. And that's been like nice for me to then learn off as well. Yeah.
For sure. And I think we're also very honest with each other, which I think helps. Like if either of us are having a bad day, or if H is like, can you do this? And I'm like, I can't today. She's like, so fine. Like, and vice versa. Like if H is like, I haven't done this today, I'm like, okay, so like, I know that we'll get to it, and we just understand that we both need a bit of flexibility, and we've got lives and other things going on as well. So this is our priority, but it also is we understand that there's other things going on in life as well.
Yeah.
So like becoming friends kind of comes first and helps then build on the
For sure.
business relationship.
I think it would be really hard to do something like this with someone if you didn't have a relationship prior.
Yeah.
It would be really hard, because there's elements of our personal, like we'll go out for steak, we'll obviously talk about steak, talk about what's going on in Steakbabes, but then also what's going on in our own lives as well. Like I think that's been an element of that's been a huge element to why this works and why it will continue to work. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's that beeping? Can I
Yeah,
stop
I think
it?
I think it was the dishwasher.
It's still going.
Turn it off. Press the power button. Sorry, I thought I paused it. Just turn the... Yeah, nice. Sorry.
That's all right. All right. So you've got your signature 5-star rating system? Or
Yeah.
5? Yeah. Tell us what that is, and then which one of those criterias do you causes the most debate between you?
Ooh. So 5 stars.
Yeah.
Steak.
Yep.
Sauce and sides. Vino.
Vibes.
Vibes.
Value.
Value.
Nice.
Yeah.
So those are the 5. I
Five
feel like
elements.
steak has definitely, like, I straight away I think back to when we went to Bonnie in Fitzroy.
Oh my God, the first time.
Which is still running their steak night Wednesdays and Sundays.
And it's really, really good.
It's really, really good. James Cornwell, it's his menu, his work. But the first time we went there, it's like a Wagyu, like it's very fatty. And so we had quite a bit of debate on the steak rating there. I feel like would you say that's the most one we debate on?
I also think because we have different preferences on sauces as well, and steaks. Like H loves a big fatty steak. Like I'm not opposed to it, obviously, but like H will literally just sit there and like chew on the fat, and I'm like, my teeth feel disgusting.
I can't do that.
Yeah, it depends how it's being cooked. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, this is really good, and sometimes I'm like, can't do it. But also with sauces, like H loves a peppercorn. I love a garlic red wine. We've both found a new love for béarnaise.
Béarnaise, babes.
Which is wild because we've got a video of us. Remember at my apartment and you were filming me and I was like, béarnaise needs to go in the bin.
Yes.
It's disgusting. But that's because we'd had one really bad experience. I can't even remember where it was. We'd had one really bad experience. And we were like, who the F would want to order?
It was very gassy after béarnaise.
You were.
It's quite a strong sauce. It just does seem to
You just said that.
We didn't have to go into detail, but
I think enough said.
béarnaise can do some damage. Like, you don't want to go on a date and then eat béarnaise sauce. Like, I'm just going to be honest.
I didn't have that experience.
I don't know. It does something.
Oh, you sent me a voice note. You poor tummy. Anyway, so I think there's elements more just like it's more about our personal preference. Like we've disagreed on a couple of steaks, but nothing sort of major. We both know that we compromise.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, next question. So you're charging $250 for a review now, which might be going up soon or something. Who knows?
We're dropping the price
Wow.
I can beep it out.
No. I think we are planning to go up.
Yeah.
So I think we see the value, but we're still within reason that it's still supporting pubs and stuff. But we definitely see the value of like there's a lot of time and effort that goes into just editing these videos. And especially all the pre-teaser content that we just pump out.
And it's not like we're just posting like one little reel that took, 10 minutes to put together.
No.
There's the caption, the voiceover, our website, like updating all of our Instagram.
Yeah.
YouTube, TikTok, even though we get banned on TikTok often. It's not just like we're just posting something that's willy-nilly. Like a lot of thought goes into it. And I think we've also got a particular style around our content as well. So we know how we want to look. We know the message that we want to, convey. We've got to speak to our lovely accountants about what they think.
It's also the audience you have as well. Like that's such a big part, and it makes sense. Like as Steakbabes grows, that's like such a big element that you bring to it that a regular marketing agency or something like doesn't have. So it makes sense. Can you remember the first venue that paid you to come for a visit?
Oh, well, this would have been after end of financial year
last year. I can check.
Is that when you first put after finance? So you had your first kind of year, and then you put the.
It was after financial year last year. We started invoicing. Because we knew that, like, if we invoice something at the end of June, then we'd have to worry about that tax time for last year. So we're like, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
We'll do it after that. I actually can't.
So it's been a year of invoicing, which is. It's been a lot. I mean, we started doing that because we got so many requests and invites and it was actually impossible to manage all of them.
Yeah.
And also being able to drive to all the different venues and stuff like that. Who was the first? I thought it was Langlands, but it wasn't Langlands.
I don't think so.
I think it was James. It was Young Heart. No, not Young Hearts, but like one of James's menus. No?
I don't think we ever charged James.
No, we probably didn't. We charged him once.
I actually cannot remember.
That's a good sign. So many invoices sent.
So there's been a lot of steaks and like invoices in the last year.
Yeah.
That have been paid.
I actually can't remember.
No, we'd have to check.
Yeah, all good. We'll go next question.
Okay, next question.
Your relationship with Pincho Disco and the steak and date events. How did that relationship come about, and what's the energy like when you're watching a group full of people speed dating over an 8-course steak menu?
Amazing. It's so fun.
It's so much fun.
Especially the fact that the first ever event we did in November, like I participated, so it was like a nice, like real test run of actually like going through the dating experience.
How'd it go?
It went really good. It went really good. So I feel like I can empathize and understand with everyone that's going through it. Like I'm excited for them because it's fun, it's fast paced. But how that came about, we were invited to come to Pincho last year to review their steak night on a Wednesday.
Yes, which was unbelievable.
Amazing.
We were absolutely blown away. And for somewhere that we hadn't seen a lot of online or really heard of, because it is a relatively new spot as well, we were literally blown away. Like I remember us sitting there being like, this can't be real. Like this is such good food. And then we just like, they have another, under that same umbrella, they've got another venue called Cinder. And we went there as well, and that was totally different vibe. More like intimate, sort of date nighty sort of vibe, and that was unreal as well.
So good.
And we just kept going back to Pincho. Like we always went back to Pincho.
And Pincho, when we went there for their steak night, that was the second five-star like rating that we had given out
Ever.
Because the first ever 5-star rating was given out to Hotel Collingwood in our first year. So then going into our whatever it was during the first year. So then that's what I mean. It ticks off all the boxes. So it was like, oh my god, this is actually a 5-star. We haven't found a 5-star since then. It just blew our minds. And then we went back again, say in November before
we went for our birthdays.
Yep. Which was really nice. And then again that blew us away, and the chef was like actually coming up to the table and bringing out our food and just like curating the whole experience. And that's what was really that personal touch with Pincho. Pincho was just like a vibe in itself. And all the staff are incredibly like lovely and kind, and then the food just is amazing. Incredible. So then when this whole steak and date concepts came up, it was just a no-brainer to have it there. And all their food is really sort of that bite-sized sort of curations, kind of like tasting menu almost.
And at Pincho as well, it's such a gorgeous venue. The first sort of area is like, I guess, your dining room area. Then there's a separate area out the back which you can see the kitchen, so you can sit along like the chef's window and watch everything be cooked for you. And you've had a dinner with
the
that.
chef's window.
Yeah.
Really nice.
So we had our first steak and date in that back sort of room, which was really cool, but it was probably a little bit squishy.
Very loud.
And very loud. Then there's an upstairs area. So we've moved upstairs, which we have the option of having one area set up or two separate areas if we had a really large group, which is great. We've got a separate bar up there, bathroom, so it's almost like your own separate venue. And like the fit out in there and the interiors, it's just gorgeous. And every single time we go in there, it's just like a really breath of fresh air. It's so good. Very
warm, very welcoming. Like it's a great place, like to certainly. I think we've seen people rock up to our events that are sort of back into the dating game, or this is their first event to put themselves out there. And like I can say that every single one of them has definitely like felt comfortable coming to our events, and like once they've settled in, like we always group people upon arrival, and because there's two of us, having two hosts is good, because if one person's busy welcoming people, like there's always someone to go over and like latch on to. If you're, we can we are there to wing women, help out
100%. And like there's been times like one of the events that we hosted recently, there was a couple of people that didn't show up, so instead of people sitting there like not talking to everyone, H and I just jumped in and we were chatting to people, getting to know people, sussing their vibe, sort of trying to calm the nerves, I guess, and just chatting and eating and understanding why they were there. And the most recent event that we had, there was people that came and they were like, at the end, this experience, regardless of if I met anyone or not, like I would come back. They're like the food, the vibes, like everything was amazing. Regardless of if I found the love of my life or a date or not, I would come back.
Amazing. I think as everyone's like kind of moving away from the apps and looking for a different way to connect properly as well, it feels like such a sick time for it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a great night just to take yourself out. Whether you want to meet anyone or not, just go get yourself an 8-course meal and a glass of wine, sit down. It's fucking great.
It is. It's so good.
Amazing.
So good.
Yeah.
So now you're toying around with the idea of expanding into YouTube for accommodation and travel and stuff. How did you find filming your pilot episode, and what was like the hardest thing or most surprising thing about doing long form content?
We only rewatched this last week. So how long was it? Like 2 hours of content that we watched, a bit over 2 hours. And you can certainly tell that towards the end of that footage, we are so much more comfortable.
Yeah. Which was day 2 of our trip. Our first staycation.
Yeah. So I think it's just gauging our, I guess, natural vibe and not feeling like we need to do anything different to what we naturally are, which is a bit hard when you're like mic'd up and you're like, oh my God, someone's watching everything and hearing everything I'm saying, and you make stupid comments. But it's, I think, just for us to actually watch that back, and as cringe as it is to watch yourself sometimes, most of the time, it was good to sort of see that at the end we were like, yeah, this is actually us, this is authentic, we're not, you know, we're not those people that are like, oh, come and see how good this place is, it's unreal, you have to try it. We're like, this is what it is, like this is our genuine experience. So I think it's just getting to that comfortable stage, which took longer than I thought it would.
I agree, but that's what was so nice about watching the footage back, was we can see it, like, and there's a type of style there that I can see forming for YouTube. So I'm genuinely excited to start doing long form, and I think it was a good test run for us over 2 days to be filming the whole 2 days of all the content. Like, now we know what to expect, and like what kind of, you know, what storytelling is going to come most naturally from the experience.
I think that's why you do a pilot episode as well, like, because I watched most of the footage and thought the same thing, like the end of it was amazing, and it felt like you guys were just being yourselves, and that comes off well. And I think the more episodes you do, it gets to a point where that just becomes the norm.
For sure. And that's like, from my personal perspective, that's not something I'm used to doing. Like, I never in my wildest dreams would I be like, oh yeah, I'll be, you know, someone following us around for 2 days and being mic'd up for 2 days straight and listening to all the dumb things I say for two whole days.
It's good.
Oh my God.
It's great value. It's great. I'm very excited for this pilot episode to come out. Hopefully very soon.
And having Raf there as well, like a familiar face, and he understands, like, we could say anything to him and he'd be like, yep, we'll do that. No, we won't do that. You look stupid. So that was really nice to have someone that made us feel comfortable as well.
Amazing. What's been the most unexpected part of building Steakbabes that you never saw coming when you started?
I never expected us to host our own steak night, our own pop-up.
That was so good.
And that was, we did 2, one in February and one in April.
Hello, Margot.
And like, they were both amazing. Like, hosting your own pop-up, like getting James involved and doing it like locally in Port Melbourne, and just having the actual people that we'd never met before, rock up and be like, we've been following along with your content, and we go to all your steak nights that you recommend. And
so that was the first time you were able to interact with fans or like your followers?
Excluding...
apart from Steak and Date, but even then, they're not...
That was still very early days. This was definitely on like a more personal...
For sure.
Like a deep, I don't know, like a different kind of level.
For sure. And there was people that, I remember the first time, there was people that, I think I sat them down somewhere and they were like, oh, we literally just saw this on Instagram this afternoon. And I was like, this is unreal. Like, can't believe it. Because you sort of expect, I guess, one of those things when you're just starting up, for it just to be like your family and friends and people that you know. So it was really nice to have that external support as well. And obviously people wanted to come, and I think that they've both been an absolute hit. I can't wait to do another one. That was actually so much fun.
The food was amazing.
So much fun.
Even when we were working, like, that was so much fun. Just
we're actually like waiting tables and running around and getting wines. And
it was fun.
I never could have pictured when we started, our goal was one free steak.
That was our goal. We've got that written down in our phones. In our shared notes.
And we blasted that of like, we're not just getting free steak, we're charging, and then we're pumping out content weekly, doing like, we're reviewing steak like twice a week. The fact that we've even clocked off like a staycation, the fact that we can have actually brought in like traveling at hotels and a bit more of a lifestyle experience potentially into the brand. Go and do that. I feel like that was so not within like a 2-year mark.
That was never something that we sort of
I couldn't see the
planned
dots
for.
being connected even.
Yeah, we never planned for that. But I feel like that's such a perfect... The more that we talk about it, the more that we think about it, like, obviously that's a perfect idea for us.
Makes
That's a perfect thing for us to do. And
staycation.
the fact we've been able to tick one off and just... Hopefully that continues to grow as well, whether it's in Victoria, whether it's, you know, Australia-wide, whatever that looks like.
We're ready to go.
We're ready to go.
Interstate, we're ready for interstate travel.
New York.
New York.
Oh my God, we're
Take us to New York, baby.
We're both going to America separately.
But I think that's a sign for us to plant the seeds while we're over there at different times, and
100%.
then until we're, you know, we're flown over to New York and then in Texas eating steak at some point or doing wherever.
And that's the only time that I've ever agreed that I'll get a tattoo is if we get taken to New York for Steakbabes.
Oh my God, it's going to happen.
I will get a tattoo.
Yeah.
Rhonda, if you're watching this, I'm not getting a tattoo.
Lovely. All right, final question.
Wow.
If you had to pick one steak experience from your entire journey that perfectly captures why you started Steakbabes, what would it be?
Mikey.
One steak, can we one each?
Yeah, you can go one each.
One steak
Experience. So
that captures like just...
why you started it.
Oh, I've got one in mind, but I reckon you've got the same one. What are you going to say? I was going to say Pirate Life.
Yeah.
Pirate
Life is up there.
From the sense that it's an unbelievable meal, the experience is unreal, but also the fact that we know that, like, without sounding ridiculous, but we know that they appreciate us going there, they appreciate the things that we do. They've, you know, openly let us know that it has changed how many people are going there, which is unbelievable. And just to have that, I guess, impact on somewhere, I think that that's huge, because this is not, what we do is not just for us, it's to actually be able to boost up other places and people who we actually connect with and build up that community of people. And I think Pirate Life's a really good example of that.
Yeah. I actually couldn't agree more. I think that's bang on.
Yeah.
It's nice that we can actually help these venues, these local pubs, like these breweries.
Yeah.
And the steak is phenomenal there.
Well, they got a 5-star recently, didn't they?
They did. So that's the third venue to ever get a 5-star.
That's only the third one ever.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's 3 5-stars rolling and that's it.
Yeah.
And I just can't see another one coming at this point.
It was that good.
Like,
that's a challenge to everyone out there.
It's really good.
It's so good. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Everything about it. It's unreal. Get there if you haven't been there.
Thursday nights?
Thursday nights.
Yeah.
$25.
So,
get the house gravy and then you get chicken chops for entree.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
So
but I think that's the venue, because it's like Pincho's obviously amazing, but something that like the essence of everything. Yeah, Pirate Life ticks it, even the price point, like what it includes, like the sauces, how they've evolved.
Yeah.
From where they first started when we first reviewed them.
Yeah.
To them where they are now is amazing.
And the fact as well that we keep on going back there separately as well.
Yeah.
And we're so lucky because it's so close to both of us. But like the fact that we always go back there is, I think, a telling sign.
Yeah.
Like it's not like we just go there for Steakbabes. We go there all the time.
Yeah.
And it's so good.
Openly take our money, please.
Please. It's so good.
Yeah.
I think that's the one.
I think that's the one.
Amazing. Good answer.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you're excited about up and coming that we should know about? The YouTube pilot?
Yeah, the YouTube pilot.
Yeah.
YouTube will be huge. I think once that's out, I feel like that's like the big next step, is getting that out.
Yeah.
And then focusing on, we've agreed that we're going to do, it's like a pro bono, but we're going to go potentially pick like one venue every month that we'll go to ourselves. It's not an invite, we'll just rock up and review their steak for fun.
Love that.
Yeah, go back to our roots.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we want to keep it like very very regional or very rogue. So like the most outback pub you could find in the west.
We were literally looking up the other day, most country pubs in Victoria.
Amazing.
So those sorts of things. Get back out there.
Yeah. So we're excited to do that a little bit. That'll be fun. It's our little, freebie or wherever we can go out and travel and just
nice.
just support the community.
And I think
in
as
a different
well,
way.
I think a big thing for us as well is we love learning. So the more people that we talk to, the more that we understand about you know, where they've come from, their process, where they get their steak from, not even just steak, but just in general, like how they started.
Yeah.
And really just understanding that process from start to finish. So I think, you know, we've done a farm visit before, like that's something that we want to learn more about. H might be doing like a
butcher work experience.
Yeah.
Hopefully getting in there.
Yeah, so that'll be unreal just to expand knowledge again. So it's not as if we're just going to eat. Like we want to understand everything. We want to know what's you know, what's the best, what our preferences are, what people's like we're obviously very passionate about it, but there's going to be people that are even more so passionate about it from the other end, and we want to understand all of that as well. So yeah, getting out there, the more people we talk to, the better.
To become steak connoisseurs.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Thanks, Mikey.
Thank you.
You ready to watch a little movie?
Yeah. I want to watch.
Are we going to cringe at this?
No.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. You tell me.
Okay.
Mimi, come on. Come and say hello. Hi, baby. Oh my.
Okay.
I'm nervous.
Into the bottom one. Grab it. It's pretty heavy. So get it. Grab the handle. Push it. You're gonna have to push it all the way down. It's heavy. Ready? And then push. There we go. Alright, ready? On press the button. Grab the handle. Grab it. Ready?
Zoom in right in there.
Yay! Love that.
It's beautiful, but you don't do that.
Yay! Alright, Gucci gang!
This helps having a videographer around.
Okay.
I'm coming back for the Alright, so you want one of each?
Not one.
Your photos were so good, Mikey.
They're good.
Unreal.
What a night.
My lover's got no money, he's got his strong
We had like
beliefs.
70
My
people.
lover's got no power, he's got his strong beliefs. My lover's got no fame, he's got his strong beliefs. My lover's got no money, he's got his strong beliefs. Want more and more, people just want more and more freedom and love. What he's looking for, more and more, people just want more and more freedom and love. What he's looking for, free from desire, mind and senses purified, free from desire, mind and senses purified, free from desire, mind and senses purified, free from desire. Na 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 na
That's the best. I thought we said Gucci gang in the speech.
Oh my god. I don't know.
Gucci gang. It's funny.
I don't even remember you saying that.
Alright, Gucci gang, need your attention for the next couple of minutes.
Where the hell did that come from?
That's it.
Oh my.
Vino.
Well done, ladies.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mikey. You're unreal.
Amazing.
You.
Woo!